What we're looking at here is the top of a typical storage water heater. In this case, we have an inlet line, which is your cold source that's going into the tank. In most instances, it's on the right-hand side. This one is insulated. You can feel it cold, and you can feel this one as being hot. This resident decided to try a product that was basically a magnetic product years ago, and obviously we're here today installing our product, so this was not very effective. Remove the insulation, and in this case what you'll see is they already have installed a bypass valve, which we also include in our product. What we would do is we're going to be disconnecting it and putting our product in line to the inlet side of the hot water storage heater. This would be the same application if it was an electric water heater or a gas water heater or a tankless water heater. The first part of the installation is to locate either a shutoff valve, either within the house or external to the home, most likely out at the water meter. That will require the use of an adjustable wrench in most instances. You want to turn off the water before you do any work. Also unplug your electric water heater prior to any installation. Locate your water main, most likely out in the lawn or at the curb or at the street, and uncover. Have an adjustable wrench or something a little longer for additional torque as required. Notice that in this case we have the meter, we have the valve, and it has an arrow showing the actual flow of the water direction. In order to turn this off so I can proceed in doing my installation in the home, whether it be for a whole house system or for a hot water install system, you want to take this and rotate thus until it basically comes around and it looks as though these two are actually on top of each other, so you can pass a lock through there. And that would indicate that this is shut off and you're ready to proceed for the installation. After turning off the water main and any cutoffs you may have in the home, you may also want to go ahead, get a small bucket, put it where there's a clean out, pressure relief for the hot water heater. Open it up just to take a little pressure off of it. Popping up here, this water heater happens to be at an elevation. Yours might actually be sitting on the ground, make it a little easier. What I have is I have my adjustable wrench after I've loosened the pressure at this point in time. What I can do is actually loosen the inlet side of this corrugated copper pipe. You'll hear a little gurgling as the air is being released into it. Have your rag handy, preferably one your spouse does not desire to have around. Move this out of the way, and then you're going to disconnect from the wall. In this instance, this has been sweated on. Valve has been sweated on, so we're going to actually use the pipe cutter to cut it prior to the cut off the ball valve. We want to make sure that we give it as much threading as possible so that we can actually push on our connector. Tighten it on there and rotate, and continue to tighten as you're rotating until it cuts through the pipe. The next step is to actually deburr any edges that might be inside the pipe itself. Be careful, you can rotate your finger around there. If you don't feel any rough edges, you're in pretty good shape. The next step is to actually take the emery cloth and just run it around the edge. Just clean it up a little bit. The next step is to actually take the push-to-fit fitting. We're just going to slide over the existing pipe, and then you're going to give it about a quarter to an eighth of a turn. At this point, in order to put on the ball valve and to connect to the inlet, cold inlet on the hot water heater, we're going to need to put Teflon tape on these connectors. First, we're going to use a wire brush to clean up the edges. Thank you, assistant. Just getting rid of any pipe dope or anything that might be on there currently. This one was fairly clean. And we're going to apply enough of the Teflon tape such that it's going to go around and wrap it approximately 3 times. You're going to want to do the same exact thing on the thread, the inlet coming out of the wall. The next step is to go ahead and thread on ball valve. You're going to require your wrench to tighten on both sides. Now that you've also put Teflon tape on the outside of the ball valve, we're going to go ahead and connect the flex hose. Keep in mind, this is very flexible. It can get it comfortable in the position you need it to in order to attach. Again, you're going to require your wrench. At this point, we're going to go ahead and attach the second one to the inlet of the tank. Again, you will require your wrench. At this point, we could either install our little non-powered pump for less water demand applications, or we can go with the 3/4 inch powered pump, which would meet most residential applications for a family. What I have done is gone ahead and attached one side to the pump itself, and I'm going to go ahead and use the other line and attach it using the same wrench. Adjust the position of it to your liking. We've pretty much completed the installation. Notice that there's an arrow on top showing the water flow going this way into the tank. At this point, what we're going to do is fill our reservoir tank with the appropriate liquid and reseat it. At this point, what we want to do is open up all of the valves that we've turned off, check for leaks, making sure that we're in good shape. If you do see any leaks, do turn off and check all your